NFTs are taking over the internet and some people have been making millions. This abstract image was turned into an NFT and it sold for $69 million. Jack Dorsey's first tweet was turned into an NFT and it sold for millions. You saw this cat sell for almost $600,000. Just look at the cat. And then you have NBA Top Shots selling for hundreds of millions of dollars. And now Mark Cuban is getting on the game and he's selling his quote as an NFT for $1,700. Let's start from the very beginning. NFT stands for non-fungible token, and what that means is an NFT is something that's unique and it cannot be replicated. To give you an example, Bitcoin on the other hand is fungible. What that means is if you have one Bitcoin right now and you exchange it for another Bitcoin, well, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the two because they're not unique, they're the same thing. And so Bitcoin is fungible because you cannot tell one Bitcoin apart from another. Non-fungible is just the opposite of fungible. It's something that's unique and that if you replace this one thing with another thing, you'd be able to tell the difference. So something that's non-fungible is unique and is one of a kind of like a collectible. So the whole idea behind NFTs is you're creating collectibles on the internet instead of collectibles in real life. So if you take a Pokemon card, for example, if they only created one holographic Charizard in the world and you owned it, you have a collectible card. People can create replicas and mock-ups, but if you have the one-of-the-kind holographic Charizard, you're the only one that has it. Now, in the digital world, if you were able to replicate the same thing, a one-of-a-kind Charizard holographic card, well, other people could have the same image on their computer, but NFTs allow you to have the one-of-a-kind thing that no one else can replicate, and you can tell it's a one-of-a-kind because it's an NFT. At this point, you're probably wondering, okay, if you have an image of a Charizard on your computer, and I have the same image on my computer, how are we going to be able to tell which one's the real authentic one and which one's the fake one? Well, this is where you got to look at blockchain, you know, the thing that builds cryptocurrency, and I'll explain that in just a second. But before I do that, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash the thumbs up button below. So blockchain is the underlying technology that powers cryptocurrency, and essentially what blockchain does is it's a technology that allows you to encrypt data. That way you don't have to worry about your data or your transactions being hacked. Now there's a whole bunch of different types of cryptocurrency, like you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you have Litecoin, and Ethereum is arguably the second most popular cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin, and the blockchain that builds Ethereum is the same blockchain that's used in NFTs. So you take the technology that built Ethereum and you're using the same technology to create collectible art on the internet. That's the confusing technical part. So if you're confused, you're not alone. The rest isn't so confusing. Pretty much anything on the internet can be turned into an NFT. Music, art, videos, pictures, tweets. You know how people get really excited and they have a lot of pride about owning one-of-a-kind collectibles? Take a look at the old original Batmobile. People would be so excited to take pictures next to the original Batmobile. Well, the whole idea behind NFTs is taking this one-of-a-kind collectible mindset and bringing it to the internet because the next generation does everything online. You take something memorable on the internet, like the first tweet ever, and now you turn this into an NFT and somebody can be the owner of this collectible. You can't drive around in your NFT and show it off to the world. You could like the original Batmobile, but you can still show off your NFT just digitally. I mean, think about it. People spend way more time here on their phones than they do out here in their real lives. It has gotten to the point where people are willing to go deep into debt, not to impress their friends and their neighbors that they know, but to impress their random social media followers. So while you might not be able to show off your NFT like you could the original Batmobile or like you could a holographic Charizard, people can still show off their NFTs on social media and Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and TikTok. This is where things get really interesting because everyone says, why would you want to own an NFT like the original tweet or a highlight reel of LeBron James dunking on somebody or a picture of a cat when you can see these same images on the internet? Like anybody can still go onto Twitter and see the original tweet. People can still go onto YouTube and watch LeBron dunking on people, and you can find images of this cat on Google. Well, it's the same reason why somebody would pay $600 to buy a t-shirt with a big Gucci sign on it just so they can show it off. So I guess you can think of NFTs kind of like digital Gucci. The next and natural question is, are NFTs the future? You have a really broad spectrum of people when it comes to NFTs. Some people believe that NFTs are the future, so they're trying to buy NFTs thinking that it's going to be an easy way for them to get rich because they hope that NFTs are going to become very popular, and because they own the original NFTs, they'll be able to sell them for way more money in the future. Some people are thinking way more kind of practically. They think that the future of our life is going to be way more VR or virtual reality oriented, and so NFTs might have more kind of placement or value there, because if you're spending more of your time in this VR headset, this virtual reality headset, where you're living your life in the cloud on the internet and you're hanging out with people digitally through this virtual reality headset, then NFTs might be able to have more value, because now your NFT becomes real in your virtual reality life because you're living life virtually instead of physically. I know it's strange to think of, but this might be the future. I don't know. Some people think that this is going to be the next generation of Pokemon cards because young people do everything on the internet, so naturally they're going to want to own collectibles digitally. When you're a kid, you don't think about the practicality of Pokemon cards. You just want to own Pokemon cards because everybody else does, and you want to look cool like everybody else, so you want to have some Pokemon cards and get that holographic Charizard. I mean, even I had Pokemon cards as a kid. I mean, I had more Dragon Ball Z cards than Pokemon cards, but I had Pokemon cards just because everybody else did, and I thought that was cool. Now, the next generation does everything on their phone and their iPad, and so it's natural to think that they're going to want to have collectibles on their phones and their iPads. NFTs clearly fill that void. And then you have the rest of the people who think that this is just a fad and that this is dumb and that it will never catch on, and people are just throwing a whole bunch of money into NFTs right now because they're trying to speculate and hoping to get rich very quickly, and eventually this whole thing is going to come crashing down. Personally, I'm a big believer that the future is digital. That's why the Minority Mindset is a completely digital media company, and we invest all of our money into growing our presence digitally. You also have to understand that everyone over the age of 25 and 26 right now grew up in a hybrid lifestyle, where everyone over 25 and 26 grew up first without a digital life, and then they grew into a digital life, while pretty much everybody under the age of 25 grew up in an exclusively digital life. I mean, I remember that when the computer started to become really popular, people started to joke that people are going to learn to type before they can write. And now that's pretty much reality. If you think about it practically, a decade ago, people were still skeptical about buying things on the internet because people were scared about what was going to happen if you put your credit card number online. Nowadays, everybody buys things on the internet. And if we go back a couple decades ago, everybody thought that the internet was a fad because in the early 2000s, the dot-com bubble burst, and so everybody thought that the internet fad was about to end. Our future is digital, so I think it's going to be natural for us to see more and more trends turn digital in the future, like getting these digital collectibles through NFTs, even though it might seem a little weird. Just because that's the case, should you be spending all of your money trying to buy up NFTs because that might be a way for you to get rich quick in the future? No, I don't like speculative investing. Speculative investing is where you buy something for the hopes that you can sell it for a whole lot more money in the future because you think this thing is going to have a whole lot more demand or a whole lot more value in the future. Now, some people are going to get rich with NFTs. Some people are going to find a way to sell NFTs, and some people are going to buy NFTs to sell them for a whole lot more money. That's the reality. That's not my game. I like to invest in things for value that I understand, because I like to invest in things that have a proven track record, and I like to invest in things that produce cash flow. Yeah, I think you're going to see booms and busts in the NFT market, and I think NFTs are going to catch on kind of as a more trendy thing, especially with the younger generation, just because that's the future. The future is digital, but when it comes to investing my money, I'd rather invest my money in something like real estate that's going to pay me with cash flow and that I understand, and that's going to provide real value, because now someone can live in this property, and hopefully this property will go up in value if it's in a good area, and during the whole time that I own this property, I'm still going to get rent. Now, if we're talking about NFTs as an industry as a whole, now that's an interesting investment, and that's something that could very likely become much more popular in the future. But before you take my advice, remember, investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. You might even lose money, so make sure you do your own due diligence and never blindly listen to a random guy on YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the shorter clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And if you're interested in learning more about how to invest your money in the stock market, our team put together an amazing guide that will walk you through how to invest your money in the stock market. This guide is completely free when you sign up for our daily newsletter. So if you want to read this guide, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.